Have you ever wondered what an NPC actually spends their whole day doing? I've decided to follow along the villager in my game to see what she gets up to. She's called Isolde, an expert branch gatherer, and what seems to be a very skilled gambler. She's part of a small settlement with only a few villagers. Alright, so she kicks off the day talking to her favorite friend Geralt. They mainly discuss what to build next in the town, perhaps a masonry or a flax field, and then she goes over to help with the construction of the new house. After that, she picks up the first branch of the day, and she replenishes the resources she spent by picking up some more straw. Isolde goes to her garden, and I think she was going to try to sit somewhere, but then she realized it's sort of an overcrowded mess and then just decided to turn back. Having been out a bit, she wants to socialize somewhat, so she turns to the town square where there's a few other villagers hanging around. Then she sits down with Balin. And you know what they say, it's never too early to gamble, so she immediately picks up a deck of cards and starts playing. Not a long game this one, and she takes the win. She hangs around a little bit after that, perhaps seeing if anyone else wants to play some cards, and the village life just continues around her, other villagers doing their thing. And hey, that's me, the player, sitting at the campfire. Luckily, she does manage to catch another game with Geralt, and she wins again. After a very successful break, she goes back to branch gathering. Immediately, she finds 3 branches right next to each other, which is pretty awesome by her standards, so now she's pretty motivated to do some of the harder tasks and goes back to help with the house construction a little bit again, using up some of that new straw that she collected. And hey, she kind of feels pretty good for it. Now, Isolde's looking for a change of scenery, so she heads up to the mountain, collecting a branch on the way. It looks like she's going to collect some rocks, but seems kind of distracted by the views, to be honest. And she never actually mines any rocks. Not this time. But that's enough work, or at least thoughts of work. Time to get back to some high stakes card action. And despite it being the 3rd game of the day, it's another easy win under the belt for Isolde. Again, she waits very patiently for another player, and Geralt does join her, but this time seems to be keeping a low profile, probably still wary from the previous loss. Now, potentially thinking about food, Isolde heads up to the nearby pine forest to collect some mushrooms. It's not an activity she particularly enjoys, but hey, at least she can get a branch or 2 out of it. Though, she does take a closer look at the mushroom she got, maybe thinking about what to cook with it or whether to gift it to someone. Isolde also knows there's an ongoing smithy under construction called the Bellows and Scythe, so she's getting some rocks to help out, maybe some tin as well while she's there. And all this mining actually gives her the knowledge for a new skill. The idea of smithing iron chests sort of becomes clear in her mind. Then she returns back to the village and what do you know, bumps into Geralt. They talk and they have a bit of a heart-to-heart conversation where they share more about each other. Isolde talks a little bit about why she left her hometown, and Geralt shares his crafting strengths. And after the convo, she sort of almost regrettably looks at the mushroom as if she was hoping to gift it to Geralt, but didn't have the courage. Now, with social needs fulfilled, Isolde goes back to helping out with the constructions, this time with that smithy, adding some of the rocks that she collected. Unfortunately, her mallet does break in this process, so she'll have to pick up a new one for next time. In the meantime though, she's still got a pickaxe, and so she's ready to pick up some iron, probably also for the smithy. After this, Isolde takes her final breather of the day, enjoying the warmth of the nearby embers, the crackling of the firelight as the summer evening cools. I'm surprised she didn't go for another gamble, to be honest, but I think she's not a big fan of Adam, who was sitting at the table over there. However, while here, she does catch Balin, maybe curious to see how he's holding up after his loss earlier. After the quick chit-chat, she promptly heads up to pick the last couple of branches for the day, and then heads back towards her house for some sleep. However, she does catch a little bit of drama on the way, hearing Eustace absolutely slander Adam as filthy. She sort of pretends she's not listening to it, but she is really. And with this little tea in her bag, she finally enters her home, turns on the candle lights, and prepares for a well-deserved rest. Good night, Isolde.